And now, Signature Dish, a WETA original series.
Today on Signature Dish, we're turning up the heat. After gathering some chilies fresh from the source, those peppers, they don't mess around.
Definitely. It has more heat than you thought.
We'll try a regional Indian dish loaded with spices.
This is the Indian chili peppers. They're really fiery, hot peppers.
Fiery sounds good to me. And be wowed by a legendary DC area chef.
Very spicy.
That is just impossibly good. I'm Seth Tillman, WETA producer and DC native, and I love good food. That's why I'm traveling to restaurants across the DMV. At each stop, looking for the one thing you just gotta try. That signature dish. Making food spicy is no challenge. Add enough chili peppers and any dish can start a 5-alarm fire in your mouth. That's why I'm off to meet 3 chefs who have mastered the far more difficult craft, balancing intense heat with incredible flavors. My first stop will take me to Columbia Heights to visit Tip Cow, where chef Seng Longlat has introduced countless diners to the scorching cuisine of Laos.
I left Laos in 1981 when I was 12 years old. With the Lao cuisine, it's very unknown back 10, 20 years ago. A lot of Lao people, they had been working in Thai restaurants because we share so many similar cultures, so many similar ingredients, similar language as well. I kind of have my mindset that if I ever open up restaurants, I want to do Lao food.
In 2010, Seng took over Bangkok Golden and Seven Corners in Falls Church and began quietly adding Lao dishes to the menu.
Lao food, we don't use a lot of sugar. Lao still focus on the bitterness and also a lot of fermentation of fish, fermentation of pork, so a lot of funkiness, and so a lot of focus on the chili peppers. But the good things about Lao food, even though you get that heat, you still get that flavors out of everything.
As the popularity of Seng's Lao cooking took off, she began the Lao food movement.
So Lao food movement is pretty much start up to uplift Lao culture, to also supporting, mentoring. It's okay like to serve the food that you grew up eating. You don't have to water it down. It's okay to come out as who you are, be brave and be honest.
Before heading to Tip Cow to prepare Mu Sam, Seng's signature fermented pork dish, we're first meeting in the backyard garden where she and her husband grow a bounty of hot peppers. Wow, chef, these banana leaves, these peppers. I know we're in Virginia, but I feel like I've been transported somewhere very far away.
Yeah, so basically you don't need a passport to go Southeast Asia. And here we have Lao jungle right in our backyard in Northern Virginia.
The Lao jungle, I love it. Well, it certainly puts my backyard garden to shame. And these peppers, I'm kind of just scared looking at them, imagining just how spicy these are. So what are you looking for with these ripe peppers?
These are bird eye chilies. The reason we call bird eye chili is because of the way it's stuck up toward the sky. So the red one is not only has such a great heat, it also adds nice color to the dish, which is what we're going to be doing in the kitchen later.
Well, that's so cool that you're able to grow everything you need for your dishes right here in your backyard. So I guess we should take the peppers back to Tip Cow and get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great, thanks, chef.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. So what's this, chef?
This is the pork that we're going to make musom, which is a fermented pork belly.
Fermented. Now, when I think of fermentation, I think of pickling, I think of maybe, vegetables, cucumbers. I don't think pork would have come to mind.
Yeah, it's very common in Laos because in Laos we don't have a lot of refrigeration. So a lot of people tend not just to peel vegetable or pickle vegetable. We also do meat with pork, fish. It could be like beef as well. The main important for fermentation is rice. Because in Laos, sticky rice is very important for Lao culture. So I'm gonna grab about a handful of this, and I'm adding water, and I'm gonna add garlic, and of course salt, A little bit of sugar
Oh.
and black pepper. So I'll mix it up. And I'm gonna grab pork belly. So basically, we're gonna give us a little massage. So I'm gonna add the next piece, and I will keep massaging it, and I will add it more until we are done.
And how long is it going to take for this to get as fermented as you'd like?
In Laos, we leave it out for a few days, but here we leave in our cooler, in our walk-in cooler, for 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, until it gets nice fermentation. And what I have here is already done.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
you
can already
see
what's
the
changed.
rice has kind of like melted it into the pork.
Just the aroma of it, I can already tell that it's been fermenting for a
Yeah,
while.
it's been fermenting. So basically, it's kind of like salty and also sour. So I'm going to be slicing it, and I will be cook it up in the wok to get like nice and smoky flavor.
Yeah, wait, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, and it's going to be very quick, very fast, very simple. So basically, I'm going to char most of the ingredients here. So this is the ginger and onion. Now we'll toss in the pork belly.
And this is the one that's been fermenting for a
Yeah.
few weeks now?
Yeah, the musong that has been fermented for a few weeks. So I will do next is adding the mushroom. I like to put the mushroom in there for nice textures. Okay. And the next thing is the tomato. And of course the chili from the garden.
Of course.
Chili from the garden, yeah. And then I will put the fish sauce mixture. I'll go down the heat. Just a little bit. And it's all set.
So much of the work is involved with fermenting it and taking weeks. All the work that has to go in the garden to grow the peppers, and then when it's time to cook, it's just
Right, it's very quick and
flash in
fast.
the pan.
As long as you have a nice heat on your pan. So now we're gonna top it with the herbs. The herbs also from the garden.
well, it looks and smells delicious. Can't wait to try it. Chef.
Yeah, let's go and try it with sticky rice. Okay, so what you do is you're going to use sticky rice as utensil, as vessel. I mean, you're going to roll into a ball, flat like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it in here and just grab it like that, and you just eat it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be an old pro at this in no time, Chef. You make it look
You
so
already
easy.
is a pole.
Grab
There
a
you go.
delicious piece of fermented pork
And
here.
then, yep, grab that and.
A little bit of hot pepper from the
Yeah,
garden. I can
of
already tell
course.
this first bite's
All
gonna be
right,
hot.
Cheers.
Oh, that is wonderful. A little bit of heat from the pepper there. The rice, such a nice compliment. That is just delicious and nice and smoky too.
So the next bite, try it with the wood ear mushroom and a piece of tomato, and of course a piece of pork belly and maybe a
course.
piece of chili for the heat, right? So you get all different textures and flavors.
This is gonna be a pretty stacked bite.
Yeah, it works that, yeah.
That was so good. The freshness too of the produce and tomatoes.
And I think you should move forward to the next level.
The
So
next
you should
level?
try the papaya salad. Are you ready?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure I am ready.
All right, so
I hear papaya. I'm thinking nice and sweet. I'm guessing here gonna be another level of spice altogether.
maybe get the sauce a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, there you go.
Oh boy.
So you get this another level, which has also a lot of flavors that you still, tasting every single ingredients in there.
And I'm glad there was a little sticky rice in that bite because you're right, those peppers,
Yeah.
it was great to be able to pick them right from the plant, but they don't mess around. They pack a lot of heat.
Oh yeah, definitely. It has more heat than you thought. So
All these Lao flavors, they pack such a punch. What do you see as sort of next for this Lao food movement?
we had been supporting a lot of Lao community. So our future, we look forward to supporting other cultures, other countries as well, to be able to give them some sort of courage, to be honest and true to themselves, their food, and their culture.
Well, I hope a lot more people follow your lead because this is so good. Thanks for showing me the
Thank
garden.
you.
Thanks for taking me to the kitchen. I really appreciate it, Chef.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been fun.
About 2 miles due south on 14th Street, just off Logan Circle, Papay is serving up Indian dishes with an extra burst of heat.
I'm from the outskirts of New Delhi, Haryana to be exact, and my dad was a diplomat, so we traveled all across the globe, learning about different cultures and cuisines. I do love spicy food, and Papay was opened with a friend of mine, and we both loved spicy food. And we got together and we said, okay, let's open a restaurant that would showcase Indian cuisine as it's supposed to be. Fiery, spicy, and just real, as if you were in India.
I'm heading to Papay to learn more about Jungli Lal Mas, a centuries-old dish created for the kings and royals of Rajasthan. The region is famous for its spicy Matanya peppers, which thrive in Rajasthan's hot and dry climate. Sanjay,
Hi, Seth.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, wow, look at these vegetables and peppers and spices. It looks beautiful. So what are you making today?
We're making our signature dish. It's called Jungli Lal Mas. The dish is actually from Rajasthan, and which was made with a game meat, but today we're making it with goat, and the very fiery peppers are used in this dish to reduce the gaminess of the meat.
All right, well, fiery, that sounds pretty good. How hot are we talking here?
We're talking about 6 or 7.
6 or 7? Okay. Well, I'm sure that's going to be a lot for me to handle. But what kind of peppers are you using to create that heat?
We're using guajillo because it has that bright red color, which is very important to the dish. On the heat level, this is about like 0. But this one here is the Indian chili peppers. This is on the scale, it's about 9. They're really fiery, hot peppers. Also, we are using some jalapenos and some Thai chili peppers and habanero to give that extra kick to the dish.
Oh man, 5 different types of peppers. So what are the next steps here in the process?
So first we marinate our meat. So we take the goat and put that in the bowl. So first we're gonna add turmeric, the degi mirch, which is a blend of different kind of red peppers, coriander, cumin. This is garam masala, which is very essential in Indian cooking. And this is also a meat masala spice blend. Some salt for taste. Then we add yogurt and definitely some ginger and garlic paste.
This is a lot of flavor.
Oh yeah. Indian food is all about spices and flavors. Now we'll mix it all together. It helps retain some of that spice flavor into the meat before you start searing it. Now we have to set it aside for 45 minutes. But fortunately, we have one that's already been marinating for 45 minutes.
Came prepared, Sanjay.
Yeah, we did. We're going to sear the meat first, but one by one.
Oh, I like the sound of that sizzle.
Oh yeah. So after you lay out the meat, we're not gonna touch it for a minute or 2. Make sure we have a nice golden crust on one side of the meat.
And you know, goat, it's kind of, it's tough, right?
Yeah, it's much more leaner than lamb, and it takes a lot of time to braise. And then we'll just flip them.
I probably don't eat enough goat myself, but I think Americans more and more are pretty comfortable with eating goat these days.
Oh yeah, yeah. More and more every day. We source our goat from a local butcher in Maryland, and he's able to do the cuts that I want.
Nice, so it's local and fresh. That sounds
It's local and fresh, yes. So the next step is to take out the goat and add the whole spices and onions so we can extract the sweetness out of the onions. So after we brown the onions, we'll add the goat back in with some more spices, and then we'll add water to the pan and braise it for an hour and a half. So while all this is happening, we're going to make the lal mas sauce,
So we're gonna take the vegetables and the peppers and we're gonna grill them to form a nice char on the vegetables. When we blend all these veggies and peppers together into a coarse paste, and that's going to be our lal mas, which is going to give a really bright red color that's essential in making the dish.
Oh my God, chef. This looks so good. The color is so beautiful. I'm a little worried about how spicy it's gonna be. But
It's
I'm
gonna
ready.
be okay.
All right, let me dig in here.
You should be feeling the sweetness first, and also the bone marrow, and it's incorporated in the gravy.
That goat is so tender and so flavorful. And you know, the spice doesn't hit you right away,
Right.
but it gets you. It's
Yes,
just
it gets you like after. So that's the right way to taste, experience Indian food. Is first you should feel sweetness on the first bite, and then you should feel all those aromatic and fiery spices in the back palate.
You have customers who come in and they're used to kind of the toned down version of Indian food. They're a little surprised, you know, at the levels of heat.
Yeah, but I've heard not that many complaints. I think people would be more adventurous and would like spicy cuisine if the spiciness is balanced with the right kind of sweetness in a dish. And Indian food has tremendous potential in balancing some of those fiery peppers.
But you know, as I've taken a few bites, you know, the heat level's starting to show up as
Right.
well. And so what do people do to counter, you know, if the spice is a little too much, you know, what are your strategies?
So yeah, just to cool down things, we have our in-house raita that you can have in between eating spicy food.
All right, and I got to go in for some of this naan and raita because the naan itself is glistening, which I know is a good sign. So refreshing.
Yes,
It makes me want to go back.
clears your palate every time.
Have a little bit more of the jungly lal mas. It's so good, Sanjay. And I gotta say, when you told me it was gonna be a 6 or 7 on the heat scale,
Right.
I was worried that was gonna be a 9 or 10 for me. But it's so balanced, so flavorful, nice heat throughout. Fascinating watching the jungly lal mas be prepared. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
After Papay, I'm off to Maryland to meet Peter Chang, a legendary local chef who created a devoted following through his authentic and fiery Sichuan cooking. It's here in Bethesda that he has planted his flagship restaurant, Q.
我来自那个中国湖北啊，湖北的东部一个叫做那个黄冈的这么一个地方。那个从那个1981年的时候，就是那个高中毕业，然后到那个武汉市第2商业学校到那儿学那个厨师专业。
After graduating, Chang worked for more than a decade as a chef aboard a Yangtze River cruise line. In 2001, he won a national cooking competition, which brought him to Washington to work as the chef at the Chinese embassy. When his 2-year term was almost up, he struck out on his own, working in nondescript Chinese restaurants throughout the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast. Some savvy diners took notice.
I remember, hey, we have a group of non-Chinese coming to the tiniest restaurants in a strip mall in Fairfax City. A group of foodies order all this like really spicy, something that, you know, we would be a little worried. Hey, are you sure what you're ordering?
The Changians, as his followers came to be known, swapped rumors of the chef's whereabouts on internet message boards. When the trail got too hot, Chang would pick up and leave for a new city.
It's a catch-22 where there are a lot of attention following him, but the attention also comes with, I don't want to be found out.
Today, Chang has settled in the DC area, opening up a string of restaurants bearing his name. I'm meeting Peter and his daughter Lydia at Q right after the annual harvest of the chili peppers they use in their signature dish. Peter,
Hi.
Lydia, nice to meet you.
Hi, Seth. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm thrilled to be here. And I know that you are a master of Sichuan cooking, but I see these peppers here that I'm pretty sure are not Sichuan peppers. So what are you preparing today?
You're right. We are preparing our signature dish, which is steamed branzino with fresh chopped chili peppers. It's actually a long-time family recipe that has been made by his grandma, my grandma, and my mom continues to make it.
That sounds really good, a recipe that's been handed down from generation to generation. And so Peter, tell me about these chilies here.
它是来自于纽约上州那个阿米西的部落里面，他们种出来的这么一个辣椒，它是有机的，没有农药，没有那个人造的那个化肥，是非常自然的，品质非常好的一种。这是我老家，原来我妈妈是吧，他们种出来的就是这样子这个辣椒。像这个的一定要把这个籽要切进去，这个籽不能够去掉，啊。 这个籽一定要，其实这个辣味是很好的。
That's where all the heat is found.
The flavors.
The flavors.
That's precisely goes to why there is a perfect season to harvest. You want to get enough sun exposure. You also don't want it to retain too much moisture where it loses all the brightness and the sharpness. So we are pickling this fresh chili. Typically, we like to make a jar of chili paste, and it helps to preserve the product that we only harvest once a year.
因为这个辣椒那个主要是主料是那个辣椒，这个姜和那个蒜是配料。这是这个辣椒的灵魂，必须要有那个姜蒜。
Peter, you don't mess around with that garlic.
还要我们现在的就是把个盐把它放进去，啊，其他的什么调料都不要，就是放这盐，把那个放这个上面的腌料至少要3天以上才能够用。所以我这个的当然我这个的已经是提前了已经1个星期啊，这是7天之前把它做好的。所以我等我。
Are you ready to taste it?
I'm willing to try it. I'm not sure if I'm what I'm getting myself into here.
你首先你闻一下。
Lydia, am I going to come to regret this?
No, it will be very balanced.
That is a delicious paste and amazing from so few such simple ingredients as well. And so, are you going to steam the fish along with the peppers?
我们等会儿把这个鱼我要做好处理好了以后，我会沸水啊，用开水烫一下，放在这个盘子里面，然后把这个辣椒铺在这个鱼上面，放在那个蒸笼里面，用大火大气蒸18分钟。蒸好了以后，我们会把这个青葱啊切成那个葱末儿，撒在这个辣椒上面。 然后把这个高油温，很高的油温，浇在这个鱼上面，这样子它这个葱的味道和这个辣椒的味道就很香了。
Seth, while my dad finished steaming up the fish, we should do a classic toast, and we always treat the guests with some Chinese baijiu.
All right.
It helps with spicy food. It also helps you relax, helps to enjoy, most importantly.
Well, I know I'm going to enjoy it, but I'd say
Ganbei?
cheers, ganbei.
Ganbei.
Woo, that is.
It's good.
That's a powerful way to start the meal.
鱼来了。
Oh my goodness. Chef, I don't think anything could have prepared me for that.
Look at the color.
I was already excited, but now it's just through the roof. Should we dig in?
Of course. Now, what we like to do is ask a guest which part of the fish would you prefer? There are different parts of the fish offers different texture.
Ooh, which part should I start with? I know
I would say the best starts with the belly.
belly it is.
多带点辣椒啊，这个菜辣椒是这个菜的灵魂。
And that is reminding me to give you plenty of peppers.
这个鱼的魂就是那个辣椒。
And that's the soul of the dish.
Excited is an understatement for how I feel right now.
Very spicy.
What shall we say?
Spicy.
Is it spicy enough for you?
It's spicy, but in no way does it overwhelm the fish. Oh, so rich, and the oils and the scallions and the way it all plays together. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful dishes I've ever seen. This is a real privilege to eat this.
有个美国的朋友，他说这个菜有4个层次啊。第一个层次呢，就是一拿出来闻到的那个味道啊，很香。第二个层次就是吃那个辣椒，是吧？这么一种清香味儿啊，在口里的回味很流畅。第三个就是吃那个鱼的鲜味儿在里面。它第4个层次的是鱼和辣椒的这种混合的味道，是叫做复合味。所以呢，它的4个层次，这是一个美国的一个朋友，他们说的，那个吃那个非常棒。
And the point of this is also for you to want to drink more. So are you thirsty? Is it spicy enough?
Well, it's making me thirsty. It's also making me hungry for all these other beautiful dishes.
Yeah, well, essentially we order everything so that everyone on the table can try a little bit of everything. It normally involves with some dim sum. We have bubble pancake, we have some dumplings, and we have some green veg so that nothing you taste is overly overwhelming, too intense. It's supposed to be a very balanced meal.
Well, I like that. Like, yeah, if the spice gets a little too much, go for some green beans, have a dumpling, and then when you're ready, come back. Because it does have some heat to it, for sure. But yeah, it makes me want to eat more. It's made me want to drink more.
Yeah, we need to ganbei again.
And Peter, I'm glad you've put down roots here in this area. I'm glad you're sticking around. I can't wait to come back and try this again and hopefully bring some friends and family over here to share this with them as well. So, ganbei.
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 To find out more about great food in the Washington metro area, visit weta.org/signature dish.